Hello, this is Annette. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here with a walkthrough of the Pulp Tarot. I walked into Half Price Books and I found this deck. I was so excited. I have had my eye on this deck for quite some time. Needless to say, it wasn't even a second thought. I snatched it up because it's been on my list. But let me just go ahead and show you the box that it comes in. It looks like this cute little book, which I just love. It is so cute. And you open it up, it has the little white book. It has this little ribbon to pull up the deck. Now, this particular edition, since it's not the Kickstarter edition, does not come edged. You could easily edge the deck. I haven't done so. Maybe one day I will, I'm not quite sure. But it's your normal tarot card size. So here we go. And the cardstock is very similar as far as feel as your standard RWS, but a little, I would say just a little thicker than your standard RWS. The box, there was an issue. So every time that I would pull up on this little string here or ribbon, the box would fly up. So what I did is I just taped the edges of the box. I put double-sided tape on the bottom and placed it in, and now no issues because I want to keep it in this box. I really love the box. Part of the charm of this to me is this box that looks like a cute little book. So let me go ahead and share the backs of the cards with you. It says the Pulp Tarot, and it's in this like cube style art, but the way that he wrote the words, it is reversible. So no matter which way you are, it's going to read the Pulp Tarot. So if that's important to you, you're good there. This deck is not in order. This came up just by chance. It's not in order. The guidebook is just a very simple little guidebook. You open it up, it says how an oracle works. And then he gets into how he came to create the Pulp Tarot. He gives thanks to Pamela Smith's illustrations. He said that for him, they pack so much more emotional and symbolic punch than any other booklet describing tarot traditions could. He said that the simple goal for the Pulp Tarot was to reframe the RWS in a more current time with illustrations that are a little bit more grounding and practical. Why pulp? For me, it has to do with gut impact. Pulp illustrations and other mid-century American illustrations I've drawn from when creating this deck were designed to grab the viewer's attention. Pulp illustrations had to compete with hundreds of other illustrations on magazines and book covers at the corner magazine stand. That means that they tend towards hyperboil and sensationalism with dynamic composition, saturated colors, and overcompensated emotions. Everything is bigger in pulp illustration, juicier, spicier, more dramatic. A pulp illustration had to punch through the noise of an ocean of printed matter, and the best pulp artists learned to get the point across as fast and as dramatically as possible. So that is exactly what I like about this deck. It is within that style and it is dramatic, and I love the way that he kept all of the titles on here. Nothing is the same as another card. I like that because that's how things were during that time. Everything had to be different. Everything had to just grab your attention from the get-go, and this does exactly that. Now, looking at the major arcana here, you can see that each of the major arcana says right here, major arcana, and then it has the card number, but it's never in the same place. It always kind of moves around. So as you can see here, here's the moon. It does say major arcana and then number 18. Here's the fool. It says major arcana, card number 0. So those are always in there. You just kind of have to look if you need that. So your minors, it just always says the 3 of, or it says 6. So you always know what you're working with when it comes to this deck. Okay, I'm just going to start going through these cards and talking about these cards because I really like it. They're not in order, and I'm just going to start sharing the cards with you. So the magician, he does have all his tools. Now, one thing that he mentioned was that I'm gonna find it hard to focus and talk at the same time. Maybe that's why I do the walkthroughs the other way. As you can see, you still have your wolf and your dog here for the moon. But he stated that some of these illustrations are from many pieces of art that he had within his collection. And sometimes some of the arms, as you can see here, arms a little funky there. The arms and the legs sometimes are his own, the creator's own arms and legs and hands on these illustrations here. So sometimes he got like the upper part of one body and the lower part of another body and the boots from something else, and then a cutout from like on the world, somebody's holding the world. I can't remember what card it is. And then his own hands and legs are in there. So I think it's really well done. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to tell that he had pieced it together like that. I think it's pretty darn amazing. Look at the Seven of Cups. Isn't that awesome? The pages. Oh, also he states not to get hung up with the, the representing male or female part of the deck, because we all carry that feminine and masculine energy. So it's just a matter of balance. I love it. Look at him. Alone on a path, walking with his little lantern. So cool. So if you can read the RWS, if you know the basic meanings, you're going to be okay with this deck. His descriptions on, I'm going to go ahead and read the Three of Swords to you, because his descriptions in the guidebook, they're not like this is the upright or this is the reversed. It's not like that at all, but he does let you know within the descriptions themselves what the card means either way. Things are not looking up for the journeyer in swords. Only 3 cards in, and their heart has been pierced thrice. One of my favorite things about the Suit of Swords is how many of its cards are utterly non-apologetic. The Three of Swords represents exactly what it looks like, a broken heart, which is fantastic. The Knight of Pentacles, look at him. So dapper there, look at that. Five of Pentacles, I think that he did a fantastic job with the Five of Pentacles, representing that same RWS energy, but in a very different light, more modern. I love this. Reminds me of the Dukes of Hazzard kind of a deal. The High Priestess, she's cool. I don't know, oh, this right here, let me read this to you. This is Joan of Arc. The Queen of Swords is represented in this deck by Joan of Arc, who more than most people knows what it's like to receive an idea from on high. Like Joan, the Queen of Swords is driven, motivated, and very sure of herself and her ideas. The question then becomes, does she end up like the woman in the Eight of Swords, trapped by her ideas, or persecuted by others opposing ideas? Awesome, awesome explanation. He still gives you that food for thought within that brief little explanation. The Empress, I love it. In the guidebook, he talks about she has that come hither look, and she's surrounded by that wheat, which gives you that idea of, abundance. And she's on that wicker chair that everybody, I don't know, maybe not everybody. I follow some people that go to thrift shops, and they're always looking for those chairs, and they go for quite a bit of money. Four of Swords, very well represented. Judgment, I like this Judgment card. Some people might get freaked out by it, but I really like it because judgment is based on your actions, right? So there's no guarantee that you're going to get some angel coming down to grant mercy on you. It might be the other way around depending on how you responded in life to all your situations. The Emperor, look at him. Oh my goodness. Two of Pentacles, I love this. She has the water behind her, just going back and forth. Nobody's on steady ground or steady seas. Okay, this card. Can I just stop and say, this was one of the main cards that got me really, really interested in this deck, because when I looked at it at first, I thought, I already have the Zombie Tarot, and it kind of gives me those vibes. But then I saw this card. This is Pam Grier. If you are familiar with Foxy Brown, or better yet, Jackie Brown, holy moly, this is her. And Jackie Brown is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. If you like Pulp Fiction and you have not seen Jackie Brown, I invite you, I encourage you to see Jackie Brown. You have to see it. I love it. I love her as the Justice. Oh my goodness, I'm forever going to see Justice as Pam Grier, or her characters, Foxy Brown or Jackie Brown, from now on. Just, I love that. Death, the Sun, I love the way that he's on this little rocking horse. I always wanted one of those when I was a kid. Never got one, but I always wanted one. Temperance, part man, part woman, all angel. You see the duality here? Isn't that amazing? 1 foot on the water, 1 foot on land. I love the way that he brought that pulp illustration, those advertisements, into these cards. Just brilliant. I think he did a fantastic job with this deck. The Queen of Pentacles, look at her. Oh my goodness. Ace of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. Okay, if you ever saw like movies and TV programs back in the day, they were always in quicksand. I don't know why that was a big deal back then, but it was. So that kind of brings back some memories for me too. The 6 of Pentacles, I love this. He has the scales on the back of his hand as a tattoo. Knight of Cups, that's fantastic. 7 of Swords, I love it. Look at, she has some right here in the safe. Queen of Wands, I wanted to read this to you as well because I just thought it was so great. So this is a perfect example of this little but effective guidebook. The Queen of Wands has reached a place in her spiritual development where she wields her powers with serene but severe authority. Her black cat is her shadow self, which guards her and advises her. She controls her shadow self, but also feeds it and keeps it close to her throne. You might be the Queen of Wands, or maybe someone you know. She may wield her power for good or evil. I just thought that was a really brief explanation and a perfect example, again, of how you can go either way with these cards. You don't need the upright and reversed. Read into it, see where your energy lies, or think about who you're reading for. I don't know if this is going to be for you or for somebody else. I love this. I really like this deck. I think it is really brilliantly created. Look at the 7 of Pentacles. Look at her. Oh my Lord. Okay. It's just the 4 of Wands. What a celebration there. Look at that. The King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. It's just really well done. 8 of Pentacles. I think it's brilliant. King of Swords. The Chariot, look at her Corvette in the background. Hello, big old dogs here in the back, you see? So she still has that representation there too. 6 of Swords, moving away from that previous conflict and going on towards something else. King of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune is so brilliant. I love it. Strength, I love the Strength card. She's just leaning on that lion. They're just cool with each other. She's in control of the way that she's handling things. Like, she is the essence of true strength. She has it under control. I love that. I think it's brilliant. This deck, look at the 10 of Cups. Isn't that cool? I really like this deck. I'm going to go on and show you just a couple of the decks that I have been working with it. I've tried a few oracle decks with it, and there's only 2 that really can match up or work with this deck. For one, this deck is full of color, full of energy, and I just feel like if I put it close to something else that's really expansive with its energy, that it's just going to be too much. Like, the reading will just be overwhelmed. And this is such an easy read that I felt like I really needed something that was a little more grounding, because this, to me, this deck is going to be one of those decks that I pull when I do need that easy read. So we have 5 of Cups in preparation. Hello, look at that. Oh my goodness. So this is, I'm so sorry. This is the Narrative Alchemy Tarot by Chrissy Bentley. fantastic deck. I'm really having a good time with this deck. But again, you have the one solid color. You can work on the chakra aspect of it. You can work on the tarot association with it. You can work on the elemental association with it. I just think that that is, this is a great deck, and I like the way that Two of Swords and Inquire. Hello, that, you see what I'm talking about? Ten of Pentacles and Purpose. I think that these two work really well together. I love Chrissy's one-word description of the overall energy within the cards or within the deck. I can use, this is not a walkthrough of this deck, but I love the way that these two play together. I think that they're brilliant together. So let me share one more deck with you. I have tried this deck up with a few. I tried it with the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal. I've tried it with the Alchemy deck. It didn't work. The next deck that I have been working with is the Sacred Symbols, which again is one of my other like all-time easy to use decks. That's easy to understand, easy to work through. The keywords are just self-explanatory. Then you have this nice little image here, Ace of Pentacles, along with guides, gratitude. Oh, look at it, gratitude with the Lovers, friendship with the Page of Pentacles. I don't know. I think that these two have worked really well together. Queen of Cups and Boundaries, Four of Cups and Truth. The way that they look together and read together has been really, really good for me. They're both simple and I can get through them quickly. So for me, this is going to be one of those quick read decks, and I need something that's quick on this side as well. I don't want to get into too much because this for me is really one of those decks that I can kind of take a break from, you know, like take a break with, rather, not from, but with. When those times when you're just like overwhelmed, you don't want to get into a lot of detail within your deck, you need those decks in your collection as well. Not everything can be a hard-hitting deck. And for me, this kind of keeps everything light, and it's just easy. It's easy to read, it's easy to see, it's easy to understand. I think it's a fantastic deck. So that is the Sacred Symbols. And there's one more deck that I'm going to try, which I haven't tried, but just came into my mind. This is the Making Magic, Manifesting Your Dream by Princess Moon. You can find this on Amazon, and they're really, really cheap. Just a quick little deck, one of these little mini decks. So this might work. I haven't tried it together. I just thought about it right now, thinking that maybe it could work. It might. I don't know. You know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. So guys, if you can think of an oracle deck that would work to carry the energy, to not squash anything within this deck, but to be a partner to it and can hold up to it, let me know in the comments. Give me a shout out and just let me know if you can think of anything else that might work. But bottom line is, I really like the deck. I like how easy it is to read. I like how punchy it is. I like how quick and witty it is. I think this is a really well designed, well thought of deck. I love the way that he put together everything. One would not guess that sometimes he used, you know, one body from here, the bottom from here, his own arms, his own legs. I think he did a fantastic job. This is a smart deck. It's easy to read, and it's not overwhelming. It doesn't weigh you down when you're reading. So I think this is a fantastic little deck. Thank you so much for joining me on this walkthrough. I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you later.